Hey, 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 good people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am excited to be here on this marvelous Monday. And today we're going to talk about what $1 million message is. Like, what is $1 million message? And do you have what it takes to turn your message into a profitable book and business? Now, if you see me looking here, it's because I'm looking directly on Facebook or YouTube. Here is Instagram. So I'm kind of streaming in two different locations. So I'm excited about today's topic because I think it really needs to be talked about. And based on some of the questions that I've been getting, based on some of the comments that I've been seeing, based on some of the emails that come in, we absolutely have to have this conversation. All right. We got to have this conversation. And so, for those of you all who are new to me, I want to welcome you to today's live stream. It is a marvelous Monday. All right. My name is Jasmine Womack. I am known as the Jasmine Womack on all social media platforms, on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, and on Facebook. And I help experts transform their $1 million message into a best-selling book and high-ticket coaching business. And I wanted to take some time today to discuss what exactly $1 million message is. Because, yeah, it sounds good and all the things. And I think I'm actually going to probably bring Instagram down here because I'm trying to look two different locations. But I have to talk about this, because I think y'all need to know, and I think there's some confusion. Because truth be told, everybody does not have $1 million message. All books are not created equal, and all authors do not have $1 million message. And so we really need to talk about what exactly $1 million message is. Instagram, Facebook, y'all give me a second. I need to adjust this camera because it is driving me crazy right now. Hold on, guys. Matter of fact, let me pull this here. Okay. All right. Can you guys see me? All right. That's much better. Instagram. I'm not looking up in all these different locations. All right. That's much better. All right. So what exactly is $1 million message? Now, let me do my intro over. My name is Jasmine Womack. I'm known as the Jasmine Womack across all social media platforms. And I help experts transform their $1 million message into a best-selling book and high-ticket coaching business. And I know that sounds good. It sounds trendy and all or whatnot. But let's really get down into the nitty-gritty of what exactly $1 million message is. That's what I want to talk about today. What exactly is $1 million message? And do you have what it takes to turn it into a book or a high-ticket coaching business? Because contrary to popular opinion, everybody does not have what it takes. Everybody does not have $1 million message. Everybody doesn't have what it takes to turn it into a best-selling book and high-ticket coaching business. And that's what we want to talk about today. And I think that we live in an age in which everybody wants to feel accepted, in which everybody wants to feel like whatever they do is good enough. But the truth of the matter is that it's not. Like, businesses fail every day, and businesses fail because they fail to make adjustments. They fail to pivot, and in some cases, they just are not good enough, right? And so we're going to talk about that today, all right? And so let's first start off by talking about what $1 million message is not. Okay, because just because you want to write a book, that's cool, but that doesn't mean that you have $1 million message. And I work with experts who have $1 million message. So let's talk about $1 million message. Is not a journal. It is not. $1 million message is not a coloring book. Okay, yes, it's a type of book, but it's not $1 million message. It just simply is not. $1 million message is not a fictional children's book. Now, I love me a good children's book. I still have some books that I read as a child that I remember, that it just made me feel warm and feel all the warm fuzzies on the inside, or that it was just a really great storyline with a great learning principle or moral. But that is different than having a book, than writing a book that has $1 million message, or writing a book based on your $1 million message. $1 million message is not a planner. Let's talk about it, because I get these questions all the time. Somebody asked me today, and I appreciate you for thinking of me, but somebody asked me today, do you publish journals and planners? And I'm like, nowhere on my timeline or on my website do I say anything about journals or planners or anything. But for some reason, when people see the word book, or when they hear the phrase, or when they hear any content related to book, they start thinking about all types of books, right? They automatically think that, oh, she helps with books. She can help me. Somebody on my Facebook, somebody random on my business Facebook page, put out a comment, was like, do you help with mystery? I'm like, nowhere on this page do you see anything about mystery. Like, sometimes I wonder, like, do people just ask questions, or do you take the time to research before you ask questions? Because, like, nowhere on here do you see anything about fiction. Do you see anything about any type of mystery? Anything. But the question was asked, so let's address it. So it's not a planner. $1 million message. $1 million message is, y'all, it's not a devotional. Now, I love me a good devotional. But a devotional is different from transforming your $1 million message into a best-selling book. So let's talk about it. $1 million message is not urban romance. It's not fiction. It's not mystery. It's not film. Like, we're talking about what it's not first, right? Because, like I said, for some reason, when people see the word books, or they hear the word book, they start to think about, oh, she just helped me, without considering the fact that when you go into a bookstore, there are tens or hundreds of genres of books, right? There are different types of books, people. Different types. So before you ask anybody for help, one way to make sure that you are not putting yourself in a position to be taken advantage of is to make sure that you are asking someone that can help you with what you want to do. Because everything is not created equal. It's not the same just because it's a book. There are different types of genres. There are some people who work with creative writers. There are some people who work with novelists. There are some people who work with science fiction. There are some people who work with, give me a type of book, right? But that's not what I do. So let's talk about it. Y'all gonna hate me for this one. Some people. $1 million message is not a memoir. It's not. A memoir is a story about somebody's life. Typically, it's an autobiographical work that's telling a timeline of somebody's life or an experience. That is not $1 million message. I see you, Naila, on I see you, Naila, on Instagram. Giving me the side eye. You know it, y'all. Listen, $1 million message. Not. I told y'all ain't gonna like it. $1 million message is not your story of trauma. I'm just the messenger. It is not. That is not $1 million message. That's like a memoir. All right, so we had to get that out the way. That those things are not $1 million messages, because you can tell your story of trauma all day long. Y'all know Naila don't do me like that, but I had to come back. We gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. All right. So let's talk about what oh, we got some people that dropped off on that one. Good. You supposed to drop off. You don't need to be here. Let's talk about what $1 million message is. Okay. Because I work with experts who have $1 million message to transform their $1 million message into a best-selling book and high ticket coaching program. You cannot create a high ticket coaching program based on your story of trauma. It's not going to happen. You might want it to happen, but it's in reality, it's just not going to happen because there are some elements that you have to have in place. There are some foundational marketing and messaging elements that you have to have in place with your book and with your message in order to get it to convert a client, a paying client, and not a $25 or $47 client, a high ticket client, which has 3 to 4 zeros on the back end. Typically contains a comma when we're talking about numbers that are high ticket offers. So let's talk about it. So this live stream might sting a little bit, but good, because we have to shift your mind. We have to shift your thinking. We have to shift your perception of what is. Okay. So let's talk about what $1 million message is. $1 million message is a message based on your subject matter expertise. What are you an expert in? What do you know? What have you helped other people to get a result in? What have you gotten results in? So yes, this can be connected to your personal story, but there needs to be some results that come out of it. So that means that it can't just be your story about being trapped in a relationship where domestic violence was involved. You need to be able to share how you got out of that, how you built yourself back up, how you rebuilt your life. You need to be able to talk about how you did it and or how you helped others do it. You need to talk about your experience in corporate and how you ran the marketing division and marketing strategies that entrepreneurs or business owners need to implement into their businesses to have corporate level results based on your expertise. That's what we need to be talking about. And so what I find is that we have too many educated, too many degreed, too many accomplished folks who have all of this expertise. And you don't have to be degreed and have gone to college to have expertise. Okay. You just have to have been able to do something, have been able to study something and have results in that area. But it's way too many people that have a level of expertise that are stuck trying to tell some type of personal story or traumatic story. And it's just like, why? Why? Why are you trying to talk about this instead of talking about the triumphs? Why are you trying to talk about all of the muck and the mire instead of talking about how you got out of it and help somebody else get some type of transformation too? So $1 million message is a message tied to an area in which you've achieved proven results. Proven results, like meaning that you have some data to back it up. You can actually show this is where I used to be, this is where I am now. You can actually show this is I work with this client. Well, this client, even though your client was your friend and they weren't paying you, I worked with them, they started here, and this is where they are now. Like you have to have some type of data to back it up. You need to be able to show some growth, some change, some evolution. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. What's up, Derek? Thanks for the shout out. $1 million message is connected to strategy that you know like the back of your hand. meaning that if you were put in a room full of people who could be your mentees, you could sit there and mentor them. You could help them. You could teach them. You could give them an A to Z roadmap. Okay? Subject matter, your $1 million message is connected to a skill set that you have. And I'm just giving you guys different examples. But what is a skill set that you have? A skill set that you have developed that it comes so easily for you. It comes so easy for you that you don't even necessarily see it as a gift, but it's something that other people have a lot of difficulty with. Like for me, I know that writing is a gift for me. I've been a great writer since I was a child. I won writing contests. I was a school-wide writing coach. I was doing the work that I'm doing in my business, in my career, way before I bought it online. I was developing school-wide writing conferences, school-wide writing summits when I was teaching and facilitating them and organizing them, all that kind of stuff. Hey, everybody wrote, doing all kinds of stuff. I was doing all of that in my career before I started a business with it, right? So you need to identify a skill set that you have, or a skill set that you have developed over the years that you are good at. That you can transform that into a $1 million message, because that's something that you know and that you're able to talk about and that you're able to teach. Okay. Your $1 million message can also be connected to a gift that you have. And I say, because the Bible says that your gift will make room for you and bring you before great men. So if you have a gift that's so powerful and so skilled, in which it can bring you in front of powerful people, that means you got to know what you're talking about. You got to know what you're doing, because it's a gift. That's a $1 million message. And so I want you to think about it. Go into your arsenal. If you don't already know what it is, what is something that you're good at? What is something that you're skilled at? What is some area in your life, your career, or your business in which you have gotten results in? And you need to write a book about that. Those are the type of authors that I work with. Because what we can do, we can now take that intellectual property that you have and turn that into a book, and turn that into a signature speech, and turn that into a high-ticket coaching program, and turn that into high-ticket done-for-you offers. But we can't do that. We can't transform something into multiple streams of income if it's not a $1 million message. Like if you're just sitting up trying to write a journal with blank lines, because that's what a lot of people call journals these days. Like they'll go create them in Canva. Y'all know what I'm talking about. It'll have a pretty little cover and it'll be full of blank lines with quotes. No, we're not doing that. So some examples of $1 million messages and some clients that I have had the amazing opportunity to work with outside of the authors behind me on the wall: Dr. Ramon Goins, 14 Secrets to a Done Dissertation, a guide to navigating the dissertation process and finishing in record time. And if you are a doctoral student, this is my dissertation coach. Okay. He came into one of our programs, well, actually both of our programs, about a couple years ago, and has generated over $500,000 in his business. Dorian St. Fleur, Deeper Than Work: How Women of Color can make more impact, can make more money, have more impact, and thrive in the corporate world. $1 million message here, folks. I Wear White Coats: From Tribulation to Triumph, the authentic truth of the Black doctor's journey. $1 million message here, folks. Dr. Millicent Sweeting, she's actually in South Africa right now giving a TED Talk. 7 keys to build relationships with at-risk students, change behavior, increase student performance, and improve classroom management. $1 million message here, people. Shouts out to Patrice Hector, the ultimate blueprint for beauty professionals. Build your brand and increase your income behind and beyond the chair. $1 million message here, people. Danita Woodley, 60 days to burnout boss. Manage work from home burnout, and unlock secrets to leading your hybrid team. These are $1 million messages. And they have taken their messages, turned them into books, and are now facilitating workshops, speaking, training, personal growth and development, professional growth and development, creating courses and the likes from these books. These are $1 million messages. All right. So let's talk about whether or not you have what it takes to package your $1 million message and sell it. Okay. Because here, and this might hurt some of your feelings, and it probably at this point needs to, because contrary to popular opinion, everybody does not have what it takes. I know the desire might be there, right? But everybody doesn't have what it takes. And I'm just going to keep it all the way real. You talking about writing a book and then creating a business. Like, a lot of people like the idea of it, but when it comes down to the commitment and doing the work and sticking to the work and sticking to the process, even when it doesn't feel good, everybody doesn't have what it takes. Some people, I used to have a coach. He used to always say, everybody wants what it looked like, but nobody wants what it feels like. People like the idea of saying, hey, I have a book. Yes, I have a high ticket coaching business. But a lot of people don't like what it feels like the actual process of doing it, going through the process of edits, going through the process of self-publishing, going through the process of actually learning how to package and sell a 4, a 5, or a 6-figure offer. Everybody doesn't have what it takes. Everybody doesn't. A lot of people do. A lot of people do. And I've been blessed to work with a lot of amazing people. But everybody don't have what it takes, right? And I'm going to say this. The difference, there are two differences. The difference between those who have what it takes and those who do not is that, number one, the people who have what it takes decide that they're going to stick with it. They decide that they're going to have what it takes no matter what. They decide that no matter what happens, that they are going to accomplish their goals. They decide that no matter what, they are in it to win it and that there is no plan B. People who decide, people who have what it takes, they make a decision that they are going to do what it takes. Everybody doesn't make that decision. So it's not even necessarily a matter of skill, because the skills can be developed. It's a matter of heart. It's a matter of commitment. It's a matter of mindset. It's a matter of courage. And the people who have what it takes, they make the commitment that they're going to do whatever it takes to be successful. With the people who don't have what it takes, and they could be, I'm going to tell you this, they can be very, very skilled and not have what it takes because they're literally all over the place, or because they're doubtful, they're shifty, they can't make up their mind what they want to do. They bounce them from this to that, to this, to that. And they never say to themselves, I'm going to do this and I'm going to stick to this one thing for a minimum of 18 months. They do it for a month, they become challenged, something challenges them, and they run away and they do something else. That's why I say you don't have what it takes. Everybody don't have what it takes. And when I say you don't have what it takes, I'm not talking about the skill set. Again, I'm talking about the mindset. I'm talking about the commitment level. So you have to decide whether or not you're going to be the type of person that is going to have what it takes to package your $1 million message into a best-selling book and high-ticket coaching program. Okay? I really could just do a mic drop right there. People people who decide that they have what it takes, people who have what it takes, they, number one, they make the decision that they're going to do whatever it takes. And number two, they follow up their decision with commitment. This means that they stay committed to the goal long after the feeling that they said it in has left them. Meaning that if they say, yeah, I'm committed, and they said it in a moment of anticipation and excitement, that means that even when the excitement wanes and the challenges come and it gets a little bit more difficult, they still are committed because they're committed to the whole entire vision. They're committed to the whole entire goal. They're not committed to a fleeting moment or a fleeting feeling. They're committed to it. And so you got to be the type of person. I can't say whether or not I will be able to say whether or not you have what it takes if after working with you or whatnot. But even that can change. And it's all based on your actions. At the end of the day, you have to be the type of person. You got to decide whether or not you have what it takes. And you decide, you make that decision by, number one, deciding whether or not you're going to do whatever it takes. And number two, whether or not you're going to stay committed to the process. Okay? Because here's my thing. If you have to decide between writing your book and building your business versus doing something else, and if it's a constant struggle or tuggle, you're not ready. Because the people that are the most successful, they're all in with it. They burn the boats. They're not one foot in, one foot out. I call them the curious, the complacent, the curious, and the committed. They're not complacent. They're committed. They don't have 1 foot in and 1 foot out. They're committed to the whole entire process. And so my thing is, if you have to choose between writing your book and starting some multi-level network marketing business, go do the network marketing business. Because if you have to even go back and forth through that in your head, you're not ready. You're not ready for the whole entire process. You're not ready to commit. Go do that. Get that out your system. Maybe it'll work out for you. But here's my thing. The same energy, and this is what I had to realize years ago, back in 2015, the same energy that I was giving to Melaleuca, the same energy that I was giving to It Works, the same energy that I was giving to the crazy rap thing, the same energy that I was giving to Beachbody, being a Beachbody coach back then, that same energy, the same effort, the same time that I was putting into attending training calls, watching training videos, getting lists of people to call, having these sales calls with people, the same energy that I was putting into building up a downline, I could put that into my own business, that same level of intentionality, that same level of focus, that same level of determination. I could put that into building my own business and profit 100 times more. And that's exactly what happened. But if you are stuck in between trying to decide what you're going to do, meaning like whether or not you want to show up for your book and write your book or build your coaching business and speak as an extension of your book versus doing something else. And if it's a constant struggle, you're not ready. You don't have a mindset of commitment. And the reason why I say that is because once you step into the space of packaging your intellectual property, taking your $1 million message and turning it into a best-selling book and program, and you start speaking about that thing and helping people, then you're stepping into a space of leadership. And that is not something to be taken lightly. And so if you're not going to be committed to the cause, why are you wasting your time? Go get whatever else it is out your system. Figure out whether it's going to work for you. And then when you decide that you are serious and ready, then you come and work with somebody like me who's going to be overly committed to helping you get amazing results. And that's just what it is. But if you're not there yet, there's no need to waste my time or yours. It just is what it is. Because again, I don't work with folks who want to do planners and journals and coloring books. That isn't what I do. We help experts create platforms where they're speaking to hundreds and thousands of people. And this is why you got to understand, all books are not created equal. So you want to come change the world, then I'm somebody that you want to come ride with. If you want to go create journals in Canva and coloring books, that's not what we do over here. This is not what we do. And I'm going to say this. How do you know, do you have what it takes? Because like I said, everybody doesn't have what it takes. And this doesn't mean that you will never have what it takes. It just means that right now you might not. You just might not be in that space. Listen, if you lack emotional regulation and control, you're not ready. Why do I say that? Because life is going to life. And that doesn't mean that you don't have to learn how to cope. But here's what I found is that when it comes to their personal goals, right? Business goals, life of life, things happen, divorces happen, people get sick, people pass away, people get diagnosed with things. And I'm not saying this to sound callous. I'm saying this because I'll be 40 in a few months, and we know that these things happen. They happen. The unexpected happens. Can it take you by surprise? Absolutely. Can it hurt? Absolutely. Sometimes is it a difficult pill to swallow? Does it require you to dig deep into yourself and like really tap into deeper levels of faith? Absolutely. But here's what I've also found out. Even in those circumstances, people will still go to work. They'll still get up, even through their grief and whatever they're dealing with, and they'll go to work every single day. Why? Because you got to pay your mortgage, because you got to keep the lights on, right? People will keep other commitments to other people and things like that. But then when it comes a matter of your business, when life happens, then you make your business and your goals an option. And when you are in a space in which you make your business and your goals an option, you're not ready. You're not as ready as you say you are. Because at the end of the day, you're giving more energy and more commitment to your 9-to-5 career than you are to yourself and your goals and the things that you are saying you want to do. Now, you say you want to write a book and work with clients and create coaching programs, but the moment that adversity hits, you back down. The moment that adversity hits, you crumble. The moment that adversity hits, it becomes, oh, I just got so much going on right now, and I just can't do it, and I just can't. You either want it or you don't. And here's where we have to stop tiptoeing around the obvious truth, right? Because when you want, a lot of folks say, yeah, I want to do this and I want to build a 6-figure business, a 7-figure business, but you don't have any idea of what that requires. That requires you to still show up, even when it hit the fan. I had one of my friends, she just had an amazing event. And I had the honor of going to serve on a panel. She asked me to come speak on a panel, and I did. She ran that event. It was amazing. It was amazing, right? But after the event, and I didn't even know until after the event, the day after, she said, I found out right before my event that my grandmother passed. You would have never been able to tell. You know why? Because she put her game face on and she went and showed up for all those people who came and showed up for her. But how many people would have been so into their feelings that they couldn't compartmentalize that and say, you know what, I'm going to put this in my back pocket. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to serve my clients. I'm going to do the best I can. Afterwards, I'm going to go in my room and cry. So many other folks would have just been like, oh, I can't do it. My grandmother passed. I can't function. No, you have to have a certain level of emotional regulation, emotional control, and focus when you want to package your $1 million message into a best-selling book and high-ticket coaching program. Because when it's not something that's going to happen overnight, it's a journey. It's a process. And during the process, things are going to happen. And even when things happen, again, you have to decide that you're going to have what it takes, and you have to have whatever that quality is in you to say, I'm still going to show up. Yes, I'm going to cry my tears. I'm going to hire a therapist to help me get through this. I'm going to take my moments when I need them, but I am not going to let this be the reason that I quit. But so many people will say to themselves, oh, this is happening. I can't handle it. This is happening. It's too much. This is happening. I don't have capacity right now. This is happening. I just want to stop. I'm going to stop this. But you still getting up and going to work every day. It doesn't, you got to make it make sense. That's why I said everybody doesn't have what it takes. Because when you have what it takes, that means even when you get into an argument with your spouse, you still showing up. Even with the unexpected happening, you're going to allow yourself time to grieve, but you're still going to figure out a way to make it happen. And you're going to dig deep inside yourself and you're going to show up. Because at the end of the day, that is what it takes. And I know it's a lot of folks out here, especially you start looking at all these different messages on social media and everybody say all these different types of things. You got to determine whether or not you want it. You have to. And when you want it, that means that you're going to stay committed. That you're going to, if you don't already know how to, you're going to develop the skill to regulate your emotions and to control your emotions, even in the midst of challenges happening. Are y'all with me? Because, and here's the thing, if every time something happens in life, you quit, how are you ever going to accomplish your goals? Like at some point, you have to break the pattern. At some point, you have to be willing to do something different in a different way to get a different result. And if your immediate response, anytime something happens, if your immediate response is that you're going to quit, is that you're going to back down, you're literally setting yourself up to live a life that you say you don't want, but that you're accepting. And this is where I say to my clients, like, we pray for the more. We say that we believe God to give us the exceedingly, the abundantly more than we can ask, think, or imagine. But if you really believe that, then your actions are going to align with that belief. And quitting or stopping at the site or at the onset of any type of challenge is not in alignment with exceedingly abundantly more than I can ask, think, or imagine. It just is not. And so you got to determine whether or not you're going to have what it takes, whether you are going to be the one. So yes, if you don't have emotional regulation as an adult, then at some point you got to learn it. Start reading books. Dr. Henry Cloud is a great start. Enroll in therapy to start helping you to unpack things and helping you to understand how you respond, the way that you respond when you're faced with certain situations. Why certain things make you trigger, and start healing those parts of yourself so that you can respond differently and show up differently and then get a different result. All right. My last number 3, my last tip, right? People, experts who have $1 million messages know that their message extends beyond the book. This means that if you just want to write a book and that's it, you're not really serious about your $1 million message, because experts who have $1 million message knows that it starts with the book. It doesn't stop with the book. It starts with the book. And they go on to transform their book into a signature speech, or either leverage their book to enhance the signature speech that they have if they're already speaking. They transform their book into high-ticket coaching programs, offers, training and development, and more. It doesn't stop with the book. It starts with the book. The book is just the beginning. Experts who have $1 million message understands. They understand that they're going to have to learn the skill set of sales, and they're going to have to actually learn business when they want to transform their $1 million message into 7 figures. It's not just because you can write a book all day, but how are you going to sell it? You can write a book all day, but how are you going to get it in front of people? You got to be willing to get out of your comfort zone. You got to be willing to get visible and to talk about what you do. Okay? Sales, business development, leadership development, book speaking, coaching, and of course, work-life harmony. Because when you begin to shift your mindset into that of an entrepreneur, you begin to think differently. You begin to approach different situations. You begin to approach situations differently as well. And when this happens, it can create some waves with friends and family members that you may not be ready for if you don't know how to address it ahead of time. That doesn't mean that something wrong with your friends. That doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with your spouse at all. It's not. You've grown, you've changed, you're changing, you're evolving, and that should be, natural, right? It's a natural part of life, but everybody doesn't change at the same frequency or at the same speed. And so that's where you have to come in and start understanding some things, and you have to even grow and develop in some different ways outside of business. But that's a conversation that we'll be having at Publishing Paid Live, right? So I hope that you all enjoyed this live stream today. I'm going to actually put this in my highlights on Instagram. I definitely hope that this was valuable. If you know somebody who needs this, tag them down in the comments or share this out to them. All right. But I definitely hope that you all understand the difference between an average author and a 7-figure bestseller with $1 million message, because all authors are not created equal. All right. Now, I would definitely like to join you. We are about 18 days away from Publishing Paid Live. That's going to be here in Atlanta, Georgia. Publishing Paid Live is the only 3-day live event designed to help experts transform their $1 million message into a best-selling book and high-ticket coaching program. We currently have only 14 general admission seats remaining to Published and Paid Live, and we have only 6 remaining in VIP. All right. And so right now, I think we've sold over 35 VIP tickets. We only have 6 remaining. All right, 6 VIP spots remaining and 14 general admission. Listen, if this live stream resonated with you, you absolutely need to be in the room. That means that you need to go ahead and reserve your ticket, go ahead and book your flight, and all of the things. So you can go to www.publishedandpaidlive.com to reserve your seat. On day one, you're going to create your published and paid blueprint. On day two, we'll be covering published and paid offer development and sales systems. All right. And so you're actually going to leave with your signature offer outline, package, developed, and you're also going to be making some sales and some pitches on day two. And day three is all about published and paid leadership, team building, and operations. So listen, if you are ready to take your book and your business to the next level, definitely make sure that you get one of the final seats and that you are in the room. Registration for VIP closes this Friday, October 13th. Registration for general admission closes Friday, October 20th next week. And then the week after that, we are in the bag, y'all. So definitely make sure that you go to www.publishedandpaidlive. It's published with an ED and paidlive.com. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to shoot me a direct message or tag me in the comments, and I'll be answering any questions that you have. And outside of that, I hope that you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys soon.